Hi guys, and thank you again for tuning in to Hairdryer Treatment. At Goldbridge Part 2, I'm on time exactly, I'm not late at all. Maybe you should check your clock because I'm literally half past, dead on time. How are you all doing? Thank you all for tuning in as usual. I really appreciate your support. Without you this channel wouldn't work, and without you I would not be given the opportunity to go and do fan cams at the ground after the Manchester derby on Saturday. So massive thank you for you all for tuning in and supporting my videos. I really do appreciate that. What did you think of the Liverpool game last night? I didn't see the Liverpool game, I was out, however I did watch highlights, and you know what? They fully deserve that lead, don't they? Part of me is really happy to see City falter like that. However, to be honest, I couldn't really, I said it on my video the other day, I couldn't really choose who I wanted to win as a United fan. City or Liverpool is a tough choice, but I did like seeing City falter like that. Let's hope that we can attack them as well at the weekend, because it proves if you go at City, you stand a chance against them. If we go defensive, we will lose. So, yeah. Hopefully fans will be happy after the derby. Fingers crossed, yes. Hopefully some of those fan cams will be more of a smiling fan rather than an angry rant. If Martial goes to Juventus, would you agree with that switch? Including Dybala, what do I think? I don't want to see Martial go. I really don't. I want to see him stay at United, to be honest. Because for me, he's got the talent, but he does need to be more consistent. However, in order to be more consistent, he needs to play. And for me, it's down to the player. If Martial doesn't want to stay at United, he wants to play elsewhere, then you've got to let him go. And yeah, I would take that switch, but only if that was the case. If he wants to stay at United, then I'll keep him there. Because for me, what's the point in having a player who isn't happy? You want a player who's 100% happy and willing to fight for his place. So that was my opinion on Martial. I don't want to see him leave. But if he wants to go elsewhere and he wants to play, and that's the only choice for him, why keep an unhappy player, and let's get someone in who is going to be happy at United. That's my opinion anyway. The whole point in this video tonight is not just to talk about Man United guys or football, it's to talk in general, have a bit of a chat, question and answer is what I've called it. As you know, I like to interact with you guys and respond to as many comments as I can. Martial would never leave under Fergie, says Albert Trotter. You say that, but Pogba left under Fergie, didn't he? Why does United don't consider... Was that Brandt on the right wing? Best goal that I've ever scored? That's a good question, Matthew. To be fair, as you know, I'm a holding midfielder. I don't score many, to be honest with you. Best goal I've ever scored? I'm going to go by context on this one. And I remember very clearly I was playing for Wolves and we were playing against Derby County. And I scored a diving header at the back post. I was playing on the right wing at the time. And it was the winner. We won 2-1. But also at the game, England scouts were there, and that's where I got spotted basically for England, and I scored that goal. So going on memories, not necessarily the most amazing goal you'll ever see, but a memorable goal for me, that's for sure. Diving header at the back post against Derby for Wolves in a league game. We're going to win the Champions League, nobody will stop us, says Hala Madrid. I agree with that. I've always said that my favourites for the Champions League are Madrid. They seem to have a knack of winning it and they know how to win it. So yeah, that's my prediction. I think Real Madrid are going to go on to win that. Can Liverpool win it now, seeing them against City? I don't think Liverpool have got what it takes, to be honest. I think defensively they're a bit too weak to do it this year, if I'm honest. But yeah, Madrid is still my prediction on the Champions League, and it has been from the start. How's your injury going, says Steve? Steve is getting a lot better. I've trained twice now. Yeah, strengthening it really is what I'm trying to do at the moment, but I'm able to kick a ball now. More turning is a bit painful, but it's getting there. Thank you for asking. Whose bicycle kick was better, Rooney's or Ronaldo's? If I've got my football head on and I'm going on technique, you've got to say Ronaldo's is better, really. The contact that he made on the ball, the way he basically sent the keeper the wrong way, he's moving away from goal, how high he jumped is just literally ridiculous. So I think technically you have to say Ronaldo's is better. However, as a United fan, and if you're going on the occasion, it was in the Manchester derby, it was the winner, went in top corner, even though he shinned it, you have to say that Rooney's was fantastic as well. So with my football head on, Ronaldo. With my United head on, I'm going to say Rooney. I hope that answers your question. Sitting on the fence a little bit there. Drop a like, guys, if you haven't already as well, because like I said earlier, I really do appreciate your support. It means a lot. Ronaldo's bicycle kick or Mandzukic's? See, Mandzukic was fantastic, wasn't it? That's a tough question. I do agree with some of the tweets that I've seen recently saying that just because the name wasn't Ronaldo, these overhead kicks haven't really been commented on. And I agree with that, it is because it's Ronaldo, but he did it against like Chiellini, and you have to take that into consideration as well. Someone just said, can Jose Mourinho change? For me, Jose doesn't change, does he? it was Jose's way or the highway at the end of the day, and I think that's the way it will be. However, for me, if he wants to stay at United for a longer period of time, something has to change. I do agree changing personnel and strengthening will help him, but will he completely change his style of football? No, he's done it wherever he's been, so I don't think he will change fully, even though I'd like him to. Rooney had 2 defenders on him though, he did, yeah. Rooney, you can't, it's hard to judge, isn't it? You can't really write off any of them. Rooney's was fantastic as well. I mean, people say, oh, he hit his shin and stuff like that, but to even try that in a Manchester derby the way he did, for me, absolutely fantastic. VAR will ruin the World Cup. VAR is a good one to talk about. Not fully settled on it at the moment. I think eventually, maybe we'll get used to it. It'll be used a lot more effectively. At the moment, it's not running smoothly, slowing games down far too much, and people aren't using it correctly. The officials still don't know fully what they're doing. Officials are still guessing at decisions because of the time it's taking to look at a VAR. So, yeah, at the moment, it's not very effective. However, they have been using it in Germany for some time now, I believe, and it is literally a part of their game now, and it runs naturally. I think it's more of an embedding process. I think there's some aspects of VAR that I don't agree with. For example, close offsides, if you look at the Mata one, for example, for United recently. I think like decisions like that, where it's not an obvious mistake from the referee or from the official, they should be allowed to go. That's the whole point in it. However, there's little nitpicky things like that which I don't think need to be pulled up on VAR, and that's what's happening, and that's what's spoiling the game at the moment. VAR helps tough calls. I agree with that, but like I say, it's more obvious mistakes that should be pulled upon. And even so, there's still been some obvious mistakes that have been called on and not being given as a penalty, for example, or the penalty decisions that have been given that shouldn't have, where VAR hasn't been used. So it needs to be more consistent, doesn't it, by every official. I think there needs to be more clearer rules on that. It needs to be more obvious. I agree, it needs more time. Are you a pro footballer? I do play football in the Women's Premier League, so I'm a semi-professional footballer, yes. I play for Sporting Castle Ladies, and I am a holding midfielder. Keep coming with the questions, guys, and thank you for all those who have liked already. Keep on liking. I'll respond to as many comments as I can do, as I always try to in these videos. My Champions League favourites, Real Madrid, as I've already said. How many Easter eggs did you eat over Easter? I've had 1 Easter egg. 1. And that was literally a white chocolate Thornton's one from my mum. Salah or De Bruyne? See, I absolutely love De Bruyne, but I think this season you cannot deny that Salah has been the best player in the league. He's been absolutely fantastic. Not only is he scoring ridiculous, he always seems to be in the right place at the right time. For me, he's playing in a weaker team than you say De Bruyne is. He's assisting, he's popping up all over the pitch, and yeah, for me, Salah, best player in the league, and well deserved as well. Wolves against Cardiff tomorrow, an absolutely massive game. Wolves bottled it against Villa in the last big game, so I'm hoping Wolves are actually going to show up in this one, to be honest with you. Favourites to win the World Cup? I think Germany are always up there, but you know what? I think France have got a hell of a team as well. I'd like to see France go far this year as well. England, sadly, I don't think we stand a chance at all. I really can't see us getting out of the group stages maybe, but any further than that I think we'll struggle. VAR is like any new idea. Once it's settled down, it'll be okay. Look at what happened when they changed the offside backpass rules. I agree, it needs time. It needs to be used more consistently in the game. And like I say, it should be more used for any obvious mistakes rather than the close calls that to the naked eye really can't be called. Do you think England will get past the group stage this time? I think we'll get out of the group, yes. However, I don't think we'll get any further than that. Matthew says Scotland have a better chance of winning than England. You know what? You're probably not far off that one. So honest, England do not stand a chance. The thing that annoys me with England, right, is we play these friendlies like we did recently, and people get so hyped up about it. Oh, we've won. Oh, we played really good football. And they get our hopes up, and then it gets to a tournament and we just crumble. And let's face it, like I've said this before, our midfield is not good enough. It is simply not good enough. Jordan Henderson, our star midfielder in there, highlights it to me. Simply not good enough in that middle. And then someone just commented there, you've got players like Livermore who are competing for the middle. Shocking. And then compare that to other midfielders. Pogba, for example, for France, Kroos for Germany. Just compare it to all of those, and it's laughable, really. And it highlights for me the lack of youth that we've got coming up. And we need to do more about it. Why doesn't Jose play Rashford centre forward? Good question. Very good question. I think Rashford, to be fair, yeah, I'd like to see him given more of a chance at centre forward, but I think he gives something different. He runs at players, he attacks. Jose just doesn't like that much, does he? Doesn't like players to be given that much freedom. But I think Rashford on the wing, he does a good job. He does work hard as well. He tracks back, which is obviously what Jose likes. And he doesn't like dropping Lukaku, and that's another reason why he doesn't play Rashford centrally. What made me become a teacher, says Sanjay? To be honest, I've just like changing people's lives really. I think it's a really rewarding job. Initially I wanted to be a PE teacher, then I did a bit of work in schools, a bit of work experience, and since working in schools that made me think, you know what, I actually quite like English. English was my second subject at school really, and so I was studying English quite a lot, and yeah, it kind of naturally just felt right to be an English teacher. And like I say, it's really rewarding, changing people's lives, and being a role model really for some of the pupils that I work with. So that's why I became a teacher really. Sophie, please notice for me. I've noticed you. Hi, thank you for tuning in. How do you think Liverpool will affect City for the weekend? It can go one of two ways. Either City with a blip, which I doubt, but that could happen. So City are in a bit of a slump and we beat them. Or Pep riles them up, they want to bounce back. They shouldn't need any riling up for a derby, let's face it. And they can bounce back to hurt us, to be honest with you. Yeah, it could go one of two ways really. They'll either bounce back or they're in a bit of a slump and we can beat them. Predictions for the derby. I said it the other day, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to say 2-1 to United, but I'm not feeling overly confident. I'm hoping for the sake of me doing the fan cams afterwards that, yeah, it's a positive result for United, but we shall see. If you're going to the game, by the way, on Saturday, please come and visit me after the game. I'll be outside the away end doing fan cams. Don't be shy, come and say hello. Sky Sports Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV just brought Arsenal and we'll hire Sophie. I hope that happens. Thoughts on Flex's job being in jeopardy this weekend? It's not in jeopardy at all, he's living it up in Vegas. No disrespect to the Etihad, but I know where I would rather be as well on Saturday, to be honest with you. Hopefully a decent win this weekend. Hopefully injuries getting better. My injury is getting there, thank you very much. I am healing. I've trained twice now, which is progress. And yeah, fingers crossed I'll be playing in the next few weeks. Thank you guys for asking about the injury. As you all know, I was really gutted when it happened, so I'll bounce back. Yeah, really sad news about Ray Wilkins. I was gutted to hear that the other day. Obviously, he was taken ill last week. Very, very sad news. People call him the nicest guy in football, and it's just a sad loss for the footballing world. So rest in peace to Ray Wilkins. Really sad news. Can we beat City with Liverpool tactics? Yes. I think we need to attack them. I think if like I said earlier, if we sit back and we don't attack them, then eventually they will score. It's just going to be a waiting game, and they'll hammer us if we do that. So we need to attack them, give them a bit of a taste of their own medicine, because let's face it, we've got players who can attack. We just don't see it very often. If we win, City fans will say they had a weakened side. It's true. Love hearing you on Mark show, thank you very much. Man City really looked shook when pressed last night. They did. Who do I think will succeed Wenger? The Juventus manager, I think. I can see him taking, to be honest, I can see him taking Wenger's job, maybe at the end of this season. I'd like to do the Guard of Honour at City. That's one thing we will miss out. We won't have to do Guard of Honour, luckily, but they'll still win the league against us if they win, so yeah, I'm just grateful that we don't have to stand and give them the Guard of Honour on Saturday. Martial, world class in time, if we sell him Jose out. That's my fear of Martial. If we sell him, I can see him being a world beater in another team's shirt, to be honest with you. And I don't want to see that. I don't want the Pogba incident to happen all over again. I mean, I know we brought him back, but we kind of have had egg on our face with that one. And I don't want to see the same thing happen with Martial, because he's obviously got the ability, and I fear that if we sell him, he will prove everybody wrong. Man City's glaring weakness is the middle of their defence. We need effective ball through to destroy them. So they've strengthened the defence quite a lot, but yeah, I think if you attack them at pace, the transition from defence to attack is massive in that game. And I think if we can counter-attack and attack them at pace, then yeah, why not? Why not go for it? It's a derby at the end of the day. What have we got to lose in that game? Let's go for it. Jose to Arsenal, says Anthony. I'd be gutted if Martial gets sold, so would I. But I wouldn't be surprised at the same time, because it doesn't seem like he's Jose's cup of tea, does he? Would take Laurent Koscielny. Interesting one. Years ago, maybe. I don't think I'd take him now. However, I will say he's the best defender at Arsenal. Thank you for liking the video, I appreciate it. If you haven't already, guys, please do drop a like on this video, I do appreciate it. And if you haven't, subscribe to hairdryer treatment as well. Your support means so much to me. And like I said earlier in the video, if it wasn't for you guys supporting me and showing me the love that you do, I would not be given the opportunity to do the fan cams on Saturday. You guys have put me in that position, so thank you all so much for that. I do appreciate it. Any more questions coming in, guys? Most of them have seen, I know there's a derby coming up and most questions are about that. Just punch it to Lukaku, let him either turn and shoot or pass it off, do something else. Yeah, we need Lukaku involved in that game, that's for sure, but he needs to be getting some decent service as well. Besides football, what other sports do you like to watch? I quite like watching the boxing, Sanjay. Yeah, I do like watching boxing. Rugby as well, I'm not, especially when it's like the Six Nations, I like watching international rugby. Yeah, those are the two. Do you like horror movies, says Danny? I do. I was watching the new Insidious yesterday. Must admit I fell asleep, sadly for me, but I will finish watching it. I do love a good horror film. Have you watched Black Panther? I have. Absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed it. A lot better than I expected, actually. I did really enjoy it. Modric or Kroos? See, I've always been a massive fan of Modric, I must admit. I wanted him at United ages ago. If I'm going now, though, I'd probably say I'd take Kroos at United. Could you go to the Man United women's team? I could. I'd have to get myself back fit, obviously, as I'm injured at the minute. And yeah, travel and stuff would have to be looked at, but I could, yes, there's no reason why not. Conjuring 1 and 2, absolutely quality films. The guy who's in Conjuring is actually in the new Insidious as well. I'd love to see Sophie on the United team, thank you very much. Me too. Is there any way you could get into watching the NBA? See, I quite like playing basketball. I just don't really watch it that much, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say I dislike it, just never seems to be on for me. But I wouldn't say I dislike basketball. If United part of the bus against City, sorry I missed that comment, send it again for me. Have I ever seen Bend It Like Beckham? I have. Do any of your students watch your channel? They do now, yes. I kept it a secret from them for a while, but they managed to gather it in the end. I don't even know how, to be honest. They managed to fathom out my channel. Maybe I'm getting that big that they kind of could have missed it on YouTube. Compliment to me. But yeah, quite a few of my students do see my YouTube videos now. But you know what? Fair play. As long as they subscribe and support me, I don't mind that. Keep those comments coming, guys. That's more like it. That's what a question and answer is all about. A bit of feedback and a bit of interaction with you guys. Do you watch the Formula 1, says Jack? I don't, to be honest with you. I must admit, literally after that first lap, I get bored of Formula 1. So I don't, no. Are you going to watch WrestleMania on Sunday? I'm not interested. I used to love wrestling when I was growing up. But no, not anymore, to be honest with you. Will we have open trials for the ladies team? I'm not sure about the logistics of it yet. I mean, I've obviously applied for the ladies team. All the other information linked to it, I'm sure, will be out in due course. But at the moment, it's still up in the air. So I have no idea. I can't really answer that question. WWF was amazing, not WWE. Chris says, do you like balloons? No, that is a phobia of mine. I hate them. Definitely do not like balloons. Who is your favourite United number 7? Good question. There's so many good ones. I'm going to go with my era, obviously, who I saw the most of, and I'm going to go with the guy who scored the fantastic bicycle kick the other day and say Cristiano Ronaldo. However, there's so many. Memphis Depay's up there as well. Joking, obviously. I'm going to go with Ronaldo. Favourite and least favourite music genres? Good questions. I quite like R&B is my favourite. If you know me, you know I quite like rap and grime as well. Least favourite, I'm going to go with like severe heavy metal. I don't like severe heavy metal music. My favourite United player, is that currently? My Man United player right now. Favourite one? That's a good question, you know. I'm going to have to say David De Gea, to be honest with you. Absolute, he's a lifesaver, isn't he? So I'm going to say De Gea. Do you listen to Stormzy? Yes, I do. I went to see Stormzy in concert as well. One of the best concerts I've been to. Great atmosphere. Do you like Liam Gallagher? Yeah, I like a bit of Oasis, to be fair. What about Morrissey? To be fair, in terms of music, I wouldn't say there's much that I do not like. If I'm going by genres that I dislike the most, then yeah, I'd say heavy metal. But I like a bit of everything, to be honest with you. Will you go and see Ghost Stories at the cinema? Yeah, I saw the trailer for that actually. It looks pretty decent, to be fair. I think most new horror films are just not as good as the old ones, though, are they? I will watch it nevertheless, but yeah, I just think they're not as good as the old ones. I think Lingard is superb. What is your opinion on him? Lingard for me has been our best player this season. I know people write him off, and me personally, I've said, you know what, not technically the most gifted player in the world. However, he makes stuff happen for us. His movement is fantastic. He just wants to play football. He's a Manchester lad. He's got passion, and he's been our most consistent player, if you ask me. So yeah, really big fan of Lingard. Will he continue playing next year? We'll see. It depends who we sign. But for me, best player this season. De Gea is a good call, so for mine too, says Steve. And with balloons, I just hate them. Just the old squeakiness and the idea of them popping, the bangs, the unpredictability of them. I just don't like balloons. They make me feel on edge. So that's the story with balloons. Who is the one that you want to see next season at Old Trafford? Good question. I'd probably say Griezmann or Dybala. I want to see a number 10. To be honest, but in order to sign a number 10, we've got to fit them into the system, and at the moment we're not really playing a system that enables that. So I think it depends on what system Jose is going to go with. Opinions on Stone Island? I think it's more of a male, like suits males, and it's nice, but a lot of the kids at my school wear it, to be honest with you. A velvet coloured balloon, I think I'd just pass out because you just combine both of my fears together there, Chris. What did you think of the Juventus Madrid match? Again, I didn't watch it. I was training myself. I saw the score afterwards. I was shocked though, because I thought Juve would give them a run for the money at home, to be honest with you. I know the sending off changed the game quite a lot as well. Ronaldo masterclass, to be honest. So I was shocked to see that result. Looks like they're through now. How do you balance work life, football and YouTube? I'm a good juggler. If United don't win the league next season, does Jose have to go? We can't have a gap as big as this season, that's for sure, can we? I'm thinking it's a massive season next season for Jose Mourinho, and yeah, I do think that. I think he's got to win the league. He's got to win a major title with United next season for me, or I think he'll leave, to be honest. I don't think he'll be sacked, I think he'll leave. Should not have let Zlatan go. I absolutely love Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but for me, it was the right decision, really. It didn't look like he was going to get back to full fitness. I loved his whole character. He was obviously he's going to be a massive loss in the dressing room if you see his relationship with Eric Boye. But I think it was the right decision to let him go. I really do. FA Cup or League Cup isn't good enough next year. I would agree. That was in like combination with Champions League or Premier League, yes, but not on their own. Prediction for Arsenal CSK tonight. I think Arsenal will win tonight. I'm going to go over 2-0. Arsenal win on that one. I think the away leg will be a much more difficult tie for them, to be honest with you. But at home, I fancy Arsenal tonight. I think they'll win. Keep the questions coming, guys. I haven't had like what's your favourite movie yet or anything like that. Do I ever bet on football? I went through a phase where I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to betting. I'll just literally put like £1 on. And I won 75 quid back, and I was like, oh yes, get in. And I thought, you know what, I'm quite good at this betting lark, and then I never really won again. But since getting Twitter on my YouTube channel, I used to put tips on my Twitter, and people who are tuning in may remember this, and they were calling me Mystic Soph because I kept getting the spot on, and people were winning money from looking at my tips. So maybe I should start doing it again. But yeah. What's the drink of the day? I'm literally drinking Ribena squash. Nothing too exciting, Matthew. Favourite pair of football boots, says Chris. Very good question. If that's of all time, I'm going to have to go with my Night Mercurial Vapors. When I was centre forward, I used to love them boots. I had some bright yellow and green ones. And everyone used to call me Cool Runnings because they look like Jamaican boots, obviously. So I'm going to say they're my favourites of all time. Current favourite boots. I'm going to say my bright yellow Adidas Pure Controls, the laceless ones. They're my favourite at the moment. Most comfortable boots. Keep on coming, guys. Am I allergic to anything? Not allergic, no. Not allergic to anything that I know of. Favourite ground that's not Old Trafford? I can only say the ones that I've been to, and I've been to the new camp, which was fantastic. I wouldn't say it's my favourite ground, no. I think if I'm going by good memories, the Millennium Stadium, when Wolves got promoted, I went to that game with my dad. Against Sheffield United, and that was a fantastic stadium, so I'm going to say the Millennium Stadium's up there for me. I haven't been to Wembley yet, really want to go, and I want to get around to as many stadiums as I can, really. But if I'm going, my favourite is obviously Old Trafford. Do you own the third away top? No, I don't. I've got the black one and also the red one, and I actually brought the grey one the other day for my mate Meg and her new husband Josh for their wedding present. So if you haven't seen that, it'll be on my Twitter. I retweeted it. I got them both one with their new names on the back. Favourite movie of all time overall? Tough question. Harry Potter's got to be up there for me, to be honest with you. If you want to ask which Harry Potter, I'm going to have to say the first one, purely because they were still young and it's just, I just love watching it. Harry Potter's got to be up there for my favourite film of all time. But Step Brothers is another top one for me with Will Ferrell, the comedy. That one's definitely up there for me. Favourite horror film? Good question. Oh, favourite horror film? I quite like the Conjuring films, to be fair. I thought they were pretty good. It as well is up there for me. I also like the old, like the Poltergeist as well, and The Exorcist. The old ones really, and Halloween as well. All of the old ones do it for me. Are you a Breaking Bad fan? Yes, I watched all of the Breaking Bads a while ago. I've been watching a bit of Better Call Saul recently as well. Do you think De Gea will sign a new contract? I hope it's true. I do. But I said all along I wouldn't be surprised if he left. It depends what Jose's promising him, really, doesn't it, for next season. I think if we win the league next year, then he will stay. But I hope it's true about the 5 years. But at the moment, under this current style of football and stuff, I think why would he want to stay? We'll see. Do you like a good zombie film? See, I like Shaun of the Dead. It's kind of taking the mick out of a zombie film, isn't it? Favourite holiday destination? Florida for me. Universal Studios in Florida is my favourite holiday destination. But to be fair, growing up I had a lot of holidays in the UK. Places like Cornwall and stuff like that, which I really enjoy as well. It doesn't have to be abroad for me. Worst keeper in the league? I'm going to say Mignolet. Most hated rival team? I'm going to say City. Don't like Liverpool as well, obviously, but I'm going to say City purely for the fact that they're a massive threat. They're going to win the league. I'm not the biggest Pep fan. Yeah, City, biggest rival. Do you like Prison Break? Never seen it. Have you finally started watching Game of Thrones? No, I still have not started watching Game of Thrones. I promise I will get to watching that. Not yet. Have you been to Harry Potter's film studios in Watford? I have a few times. I went on a school trip there actually last year. I took some kids. Best school trip ever. So yeah, I have been there a few times, and I want to go again because it's fantastic. Also the one in Florida as well is fantastic as well. Any more questions, guys, before I round up? Most underrated player of all time? Jemba. No, most underrated player of all time. I think Scholes was underrated, to be honest with you. I'm going to say Paul Scholes. Absolutely fantastic. My favourite player of all time was Paul Scholes. And I think he deserved a lot more credit than what he got. So yeah, for me, Paul Scholes, most underrated player of all time. Berbatov was fantastic, his style. Carrick was the other one that came into my head as well. I was going to say Scholes or Carrick. Carrick was the other one that popped into my head. Favourite childhood memory? What a question that is. What a question that is. I'm just going to stay playing football as a kid, to be honest with you, with my cousins in the street, just literally every second we got getting a ball and playing football, whether it be playing Wembley or playing just like little games with just random kids in the street and stuff like that. And that's my favourite childhood memory. For me, that's what made me pursue football and made me the player that I am, is through just that, really, just playing football in the street. And yeah, that's how I learnt my trade, I guess. Will Luke Shaw leave? Yes, I do think he will. I can't see a future for him at United, which is a shame. However, I think for his own personal benefit, he needs to leave. Jose, Jose out at the moment. I'm still Jose in, but stuff needs to change. What made you want to be a CDM? I wouldn't say I wanted to be a CDM. I think naturally I lost some pace. People always say I've got good vision, a decent touch. So naturally I slotted in there, really, and yeah. I literally got put there for one game to sit in. I think someone got injured or something, and I sat in there. And being able to dictate the play, I loved it. And ever since then, really, I've stayed as a CDM. But I wouldn't say I wanted to play there. I kind of just fell upon that position, really, and it suited me really well. Any good at track and field? No, I'm awful. I tried to jump a hurdle once and just hit it. So no, I'm not very good at track and field. Are you going to see Man United before the season ends? Yeah, definitely I will. Darian says, "Ho Sophie, if Jose parks the bus on Saturday, will you be Jose out?" I think he will park the bus, to be honest with you, and I think if he does, then we're in for a hammering. I don't think it's the right tactic to use. I think he should watch Liverpool's performance yesterday and follow that, but I can't see Jose changing that. However, I will say as well, I don't think Jose will want to lose to City, and he won't want City winning the league against us. So maybe that will be in the back of his head as well. Do you like shopping? Yes, especially trainer shopping. If you've seen some of my past videos, you'll see I have a massive trainer collection. Definitely got a problem with trainers and a bit of an addiction with that, so yes, I love shopping. I miss 4-0 FC, so do I. How good would it be if it came back on Saturday though? Sometimes you have to go out and score more than the opposition, I agree. Let's just outscore them. City will score anyway, so let's just outscore them. I agree with that. Everyone is saying Zlatan is changing the MLS. That apparently said. Keep coming with the comments because I can't read them all when they're that long, I'm afraid. Throw everything and anything at City. Who cares if they score 2 or 3? Just crash the net. Exactly. What have we got to lose in that derby? It's a derby. Form goes out the window. Let's just show a bit of passion and a bit of fight and go at them. I know the fans will want to see that. That's what I want to see as well. And I mentioned it already, but I'll be doing the fan cams outside the stadium on Saturday. If you're there, come and see me. Kind of a little bit of a chat with me about the game. Fingers crossed it'll be a positive chat. And we've prevented them from winning the league. That's what I want. MLS is the Mickey Mouse League. Yes, it is. We should go with 2 strikers up front. Don't think that's really going to happen, to be honest, Miles. Can't see Jose doing that. It's not really his style. Do you do private tuition? Because I'm really thick. I actually do, to be fair. I've done quite a lot of tuition over the last few years. I don't want Barca in a semi. It will mean 3 Clásicos in 10 days. Flex is in Vegas. Someone just commented there. Barcelona will get through, let's face it. But yeah, I don't want to see that. I'd more want to see that in the final, Barcelona-Madrid. It'll be on the United Stands channel, the fan cams at the weekend. Flex is in Vegas, so I will be covering for him, and fingers crossed I'll do a good job. How's the teacher's pay? It's not good enough, Miles. Rashford will play Saturday. I think he'll play as well. Let's see if he can retire any more City defenders like he has done in the past as well. That would be great. Fingers crossed that we get a positive result. Right then guys, I'm going to round off. Seems like the questions are slowly dying out. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe as well if you haven't as well. If I miss your questions, I do appreciate your support. Don't think I'm ignoring you on purpose. Just drop a comment and I'll respond as soon as I can. But thank you so much guys for tuning in. And remember, if you're there on Saturday, come and pop and see me outside the away end. I'll be waiting to come and have a chat. Thank you guys. Have a nice evening. Take care and cheers.